Hello again. This is Moving Mark coming from Route 66 today on a rainy day here in Lebanon, Missouri. And as you see, I've got a beautiful lady behind this counter right here. And she is one of the icons up and down the route. And in my book, she's a top icon. She probably doesn't need any introductions, but I'm going to let her tell everyone who she is, what she has along Route 66, and just a little bit about herself, and then we'll move on and talk about Route 66 a little bit. Good morning.
Good morning there.
How are you doing this morning?
Well, doing better since you came in to see me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you have along Route 66.
Well, my name is Ramona Lehman. I am sole owner of the Munger Motel now. I lost my husband here earlier this spring, but lost my train of thought. I have been here for 48 years. I'm going for 50. I hope I make it. But I've met people from all over the world, and it's been a pleasure. And when I think about how many people I have met, it almost blows my mind because, good gracious.
Been a lot, I'm sure.
48 years times, 365 days times, say I just meet 10 people a day? Ooh.
That's a large number. I can't imagine trying to keep up with that. I have to look at my driver's license sometimes, see who I am.
Oh, and what's real funny is somebody will come in and says, I was here 5 years ago. Remember me? Well, hell no.
You're hearing it straight from Ramona's mouth right here. Are there any things that stick out in your mind as far as people maybe that you've met or things that you've seen up and down Route 66?
Yeah, I had a guy from Brazil come in. He was a tall dude. Came in, looked at me and said, "You're Ramona?" I said, "Yeah." Walked over, laid his hand on my arm and said, "By damn, you're real." I says, "I hope I am." And you know, that's one thing you never forget. I met a gal from India. She was probably about 40, traveling all by herself on Route 66. She was easy to talk to, and what she did for a living was she owned a factory that made women's fashions in India. And you don't associate women doing that in India, but she was very nice to talk to too. Most everybody. The thing about people who travel Route 66, they're all decent human beings. They don't steal. They don't destroy your stuff. They're happy I've kept the motel like it is. And they've all become, friends and so forth. And the Route 66 family just keeps growing and growing and growing.
You mentioned all the people that you've met. Are there any particular people that you per se maybe look up to or that have been influential for you out on Route 66 that have helped you along the way?
Oh, I think all of those that have wrote books and stuff like that, all of that helps. And because Munger Moss is mentioned in every single book and so forth like that. And even the ones that came from Europe and, wrote a book and stuff like that. I had one guy. My office is always a mess. He says, "I want to take a picture of you in your office." I says, He says, "Why not?" I said, "It's a mess." He says, "So?" But I mean, I didn't want my messy office to go away to Europe and so forth. But
well, it sounds like everything's worked out. You have got one of the coolest little lobbies here at any of the motels up and down the route. You've got anything from jewelry to postcards to toys to T-shirts, a little bit of everything. And I know this much. Ramona is, like I say, she's an icon, and there's none like her. And we are honored and privileged to have her along Route 66 and be involved in the Missouri Route 66 Association. Is there anything you'd like to say about the Missouri Route 66 Association as to how they've helped you or how they've been instrumental in trying to help Route 66 in this area?
Well, let's go back to the first year it was formed. I mean, you know, we're in St. Louis, and we're going to have a car tour, okay? I invited them to stop in and say howdy or have a cup of coffee or whatever. And I get a phone call, will you host us? And yeah, I did. And it was probably the best, one of the better car tours at that time. It was fun. We had TV, we had big steak fry out here and everything else. And then, you know, you start, and so, you know, every 3 months you have a meeting, and you have it in different places, and you meet new people, and, you know, there was one person that really, this is probably, it was about the time that Munger Motel was 50 years old, so that'd be 23 years ago. And we had a meeting here in town. I invited everybody out for cake and coffee. Anyhow, this guy comes in and he looks at me and he says, "You're Ramona." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I got something to say to you." And I thought, oh crap, what do I do now? You know. And then he came over and he says, "All I can say is you've done the names Munger and Moss proud. And I'm so very proud to meet you." He happened to be Emmett Moss's nephew. His name was George Branson. In other words, he thanked me for not destroying Munger or Moss, that I kept it. I didn't put another name on it, and I made it stand for something good and so forth. That was probably the best words that were ever said to me, and it made me proud that he did that. So, yeah, I'm proud of my Munger Moss.
I'm sitting here trying not to get choked up listening to the story, but yes, that sign alone is iconic up and down the route, and you're iconic up and down the route, and keeping these old mom and pop motels in the shape that they were, maintaining them but keeping them in the same era time frame that they were built and the same aesthetics is just amazing. I see here that you still do it the old-fashioned way, no computers or anything like this, strictly the little registration cards and everything. If you, as a lady that is very seasoned on Route 66 and have had this motel for many years, what would you say to a new traveler that might watch this video on how to do Route 66 and just a little bit of information?
Number one, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Research. Get some books, read them. Find out what you want to see, where you want to go. Sometimes, you know, you think you have to make reservations clear ahead. Not really. I think there's always vacancies. And the thing of it is, if you go to a person who plans your journey, you'll miss the mom and pops because they don't put them there. And, you know, that's the sad part. But the thing of it is, I mean, you know, if you just take your time, there's usually a place down the road to stay, but, you know, you don't have to hurry up to get there. But the thing of it is, just like every once in a while I get a phone call from somebody in Illinois, and they want to make reservations for me for that night, and say it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. My gosh, you'll be driving in the dark. If you have paid all your money to come over here and want to do Route 66, do it. Don't hurry up and drive in the dark and see nothing. You're here to see Route 66 and travel on it. And that's what you should do.
And not to mention, what are you supposed to do on Route 66? Meet the
people in the stores, in the restaurants, in the motels, wherever you see something you want to stop, take a picture, because tomorrow maybe that place will be gone or whatever. But get acquainted, take your book in, have people sign it, so you have your memories.
Well, I know my memory, the first time I ever saw you and the first time I ever saw your motel will always be in my mind and in my heart, and even more so in my soul. Are there any parting words you'd like to give the audience that might be watching this down the road, as far as how to get in touch with you, where you're located exactly, and how to be able to stay with you here at the Munger Moss?
Okay. My address is 1336 East Route 66, Lebanon, Missouri. I'm off exit 130 of I-44. The Route 66 road, per se, goes right by my door. There's about a 5-mile stretch here. That's pure Route 66. I have a computer. I have a website, www.mungermoss.com. And there's a place there where you can make reservations on the internet. I don't always get to them right away, but eventually I'll answer you.
Do you have a direct number that can call you also?
Phone number is 417-532-3111.
There's not much else I can say here, everyone. This has been an amazing opportunity to sit here and interview Miss Ramona, my official Route 66 grandmother, at her location here, and she reminds me so much of my own grandmother, and that's why I love her so much. This is Moving Mark with another episode of my Route 66 spotlights, coming from the iconic Munger Moss Motel, ran by the crown jewel of Ramona. Everyone have a great day, and Moving Mark will see you on down the road. Bye-bye.